Good morning, people. Haven't even hardly gotten out of bed, but there's something I wanted to do last night because today is August 29th. Could be a big day. And I just want to talk about Crimea and all the stuff going down in Ukraine that's been going on for months. But before we start with that, we have to go back in history. So, December 8th, 2013, this past December 8th, that was the day in the news that they showed the destruction of the Lenin statue in Kyiv, as you might recall. December 8th. December 8th, 1980, 33 years before the destruction of the statue of Lenin, was the assassination of John Lennon of the Beatles. John Lennon, similar name to Lenin from Russia. But the way John Lennon is spelled, John sums to 47 in gematria, and Lenin sums to 74. Real quick, if you've never seen one of my posts before, I talk about gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words. In other posts, I explain exactly how to do it, where it comes from, what it's based in. It's real stuff. I'd go back to one of those posts and then come back to this if you've never watched before. Okay, moving on. So, on this same date in history, December 8th, 1953, that's when Eisenhower gave his Atoms for Peace speech. And what Atoms for Peace was it was the program that supplied equipment and information to schools, hospitals, and research institutions to spread information about atomic weapons, essentially. So that's how the knowledge got out there worldwide about atomic weapons, was through this Atoms for Peace program. It was an international education program. Out of that program came the first nuclear reactors in Iran and Pakistan. Little known fact, way back in 1953. Back then the U.S. was supporting nuclear reactors in those regions. Today they're using them in their psyops to say they're threats to us. I'm just showing you guys how all well designed this stuff is, how well it goes back, and how they manipulate it with us today because they know we don't know history. So here I'm sharing with you some history. On December 8th, 1991, the USSR dissolved. And what's curious about the abbreviation USSR is it's very similar to USA, which is 311. But USSR is 3119. And that number 3119, you guys, that might be the most significant number in the history of the United States without any of us knowing it. Please go to my blog. I'll link this in the comments below. You can verify it. The length of days between the 93 World Trade Center bombing and the September 11th, 2001 World Trade Center bombing was 3,119 days, just like the acronym USSR. And no, I'm not saying Russia blew up the World Trade Centers, you guys. No. What I am saying is it's these people, the people that govern this world, which is what I'm exposing. What this blog is about, what this video blog is about educating about gematria, how the news is used against us, who is doing it, why they are doing it, and I'm also exposing that what we live in is the New World Order, and we've lived in it for a very long time. It goes back centuries, and it's become more encompassing because it has been able to exist. Okay, so remember I said the length of days between the 93 World Trade Center bombing and September 11th was 3,119 days. Imagine in your mind the date 9/11/2001. In numerology, you reduce numbers to a single digit unless they're multiples of 11. So 9 for September can stay 9. It's a single digit. 11 can stay 11 because it's 11, a multiple of 11. And 2001 would become 2 plus 0 plus 0 plus 1. So then the date would look like 9/11/3, which is the exact opposite of 3119, which represents USSR and was the number of days between the two attacks on the World Trade Center. You guys, these are the fingerprints of what we call the New World Order and the Illuminati. It is real. It's very real. Okay. So in 2004, the South American Community of Nations, which was of 12, was created. Around this same time, there was something set up, a block of nation states and countries that is 33 in sum, that's for North and South America. The United States and I believe Canada are not participating in it, but I think everybody else is. Um, so, oh, also with South America, there's only 8 countries in the world with a 33 name. They are Uruguay and Mexico in the North America and South America. Those are the only 2 countries. Uruguay was established by a movement called the 33 Orientals. Look it up. If you don't believe me, it's true. And just, if you wonder where that word Orientals comes from, research the Rockefellers. They used to use the name Oriental a lot in their companies and their doings. They would stick that in a lot of things, so I think that might be where that Oriental word comes from. But anyhow, Uruguay is where the Tupamara movement started from. The word Tupamara sums to 33 in gematria. And just think about like Cuba. Cuba in gematria, C and U become 3 and 3 because C is the 3rd letter and U is the 21st, so 2 plus 1 is 3. So you have this little island, 3-3, that's a product of the Tupamara movement up from Che Guevara. I know a lot of people cherish these people, but really these are the agents of the New World Order, and we've been sold to think that they're great people, but really they're just actors playing their part in the ongoing psyops that is waged against us in so many ways. Alright, so 2013, this past December 8th, the statue of Lenin was destroyed in Kyiv. Notice that it was built in 47. In this video blog, I talk about the numbers 33, 47, 74 a lot. I've also showed the relationship between 33 and 66. If you write out the word 33 in letters, convert it to numbers, and then sum it, it sums to 66. Lots of connections with 33 and 66. So, after this, what sparked was there was this issue that Crimea wanted to separate from Ukraine. It wanted to separate from Ukraine. Well, if you look at Crimea, they are a very, very curious country. They have red, white, and blue colors. Most nations in the world that have red, white, and blue colors are part of this thing, such as Thailand. Thailand's one of the 833 gematria named countries in the world, and Thailand changed its name to Thailand on a date with a numerology that also sums to 33. That's just like Delaware, the first state. Delaware sums to 33, and the date it was established, December 7th, 1787, sums to 33. You do that by going 1 plus 2 for December, plus 7 for the day, plus 1 plus 7 plus 8 plus 7 for the year. Add it all up, 33. Only 3 colonies were established with 33 dates. The first, Delaware, the last, Rhode Island, and the 9th, New Hampshire. Out of the 50 states, only 3 have 33 names. The first, Delaware, the 50th and final, Hawaii, and the 6th, Massachusetts. Same pattern, not an accident. Okay, anyhow, so let's go to Crimea. What I'm telling you is this Crimea has been a part of the New World Order agenda, if you want to call it that, since forever. Look, you can see how it's part of the script. They established it on October 21st, 1921. 10/21/21. If you sum that date that way in numerology, 10 plus 21 plus 21, what would you get? 52, a 7. And look, 77 years later, they formed their constitution for the first time. Imagine that, a country with no constitution for 77 years. Exactly. On the nose, to the day. Look it up if you don't believe me. And where does that number 77 come from? The 77th meridian is the American meridian that cuts through Washington, D.C., in gematria, the word Christ equals 77, and the word Christ is used exactly 555 times in the King James Version of the Bible. The Washington Monument is 555 feet tall. The Pentagon is 5-sided, 5 floors with a 5-acre court in the middle, and sits on the 77th meridian. The Pentagon is also 77 feet tall and was hit by Flight 77 on 9/11, if you believe it. Okay. So, also it was established in October. October is the only month with a gematria of 33. Again, all the links below this post will show all the math for this. You don't have to take my word for it. You can look it up. It's all legit. Okay, so this year, on the date of 3/11, remember like the acronym up here, 9/3/11, just drop the 9. 3/11 shows up all over the place. On 3/11, they declared their independence from Ukraine, which has caused what we now it has caused everything that we've seen since, up to the headlines we're reading now, full-scale invasion. So shortly after that, Prime Minister Yatsenyuk was installed in Ukraine, who has now said he's going to resign at the end of his term. Look at what Yatsenyuk's name sums to. 33. Please, again, check the links below. You guys don't have to believe me. Question this. I respect questioning minds. But this is the truth, you guys. This is what's up in the world. Get this. Saddam Hussein. Let's go to Saddam Hussein. Let's just go somewhere else. Saddam Hussein was born in Tikrit. The gematria of Tikrit is 33. He was captured just outside of Tikrit in a foxhole in Operation Red Dawn. Red Dawn, like the 1984 film, sums to 33 in gematria. These are the agents. Do you guys know who the new president of Iraq is? His name is Jalal Talabani. Jalal Talabani. Does that name sound real to you? It sums to 33. This stuff is all over, you guys. The most recent 33 country in the world is Tajikistan. It's only had one president. He changed his name before becoming president. He changed it so it sums to 33. These are the agents who run our world. They are in our country, and they are in almost every other country. The only way we can stop this is by letting people know what's really up. And how we can do that is by giving them truth like this, because you cannot deny the truth. Thanks, people.